Jeremy Cameron, you want to put him in the conversation as the AFL's #1 player?
Oh, I think he's clearly the best player in the game right now. And I think he's the most difficult matchup in AFL footy because who do you play on him? Richmond will be scratching their heads thinking, OK, do we go with the Grimes? But he's going to take us to places we don't want to go, places he doesn't want to defend, high up the field. I don't think I've seen a player... We talk a lot about midfielders that go forward and hit the scoreboard. Well, this is a forward that goes in the midfield. It's the reverse. So this is last week. So this is what he can do. He glides across the ground. His coasting speed holds and maintains a gap on his opponent. And his kicking, we'll talk about it in a moment, but this is a guy that's kicked 39 goals for the year. He's one behind in the Coleman. This is where he pushes up the ground. So you're doing some sort of handover where you're giving it to a midfielder type or a flanker type who rolls up the field with him. But then he's still got the smarts to put himself in contested marking contest. Now, he's not a great contested marker, but the fact that he's always back at the coalface opens up scoring opportunities for him. Now, that's a rarity, that mark there. But this is what we're seeing. He's the best kick in the competition, according to champion data, 13% above the AFL average. And you don't see it till you see it. And this, what he does inside 50, or particularly as that midfield roaming type, that high half-forward roaming type, for a 6'5" to kick the ball like that, is just quite remarkable. So he's the #1 score involvement player in the competition from round 2 onwards. So round 1 he got injured. Yep. He had 2 goals in the first 20 minutes that day. He's had an unbelievable year. I just think we've got to just start appreciating what this guy does, because it's a 6'5" Dustin Martin.
Oh, he's a good player, but I'm curious because about 4 weeks ago you said, is he overrated? He's a bit of a flat tracker. Did you say
his
that?
one-on-one marking ability and his goal kicking, his goals in the wins were significantly more than his goals in losses, absolutely. But it just maybe goes to show, was he the result of them winning, or was he the significant factor? I put out there, is he the one you need to stop for Geelong? Because when they win, he's kicking goals.
He's taken 40 marks inside 50.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And in terms of going to him, so in terms of getting a goal out of that player from those targeted entries, only Bailey Fritsch has a greater return. So he is the complete package, and I think all people do is look at what he doesn't do, and it's a small component. The contested marking stuff, not really his go. No. But if the game's played like that, good luck matching up on him. Good luck stopping him. I think he's the biggest challenge in this game on Saturday afternoon.
Has Richmond got a match-up for him?
Well, it depends what happens with Tarrant. I mean, if Tarrant doesn't play, they're down Bolter already. You got Gibcus, who's a young player. It's a big task for him to go against Hawkins.
Grimes is deep,
let alone Cameron. So Grimes has to go deep. Is it Broad? Can Broad do the job?
He's a pretty good player, Nathan Broad. He's been on for a long, long time.
It's going to be a fascinating watch.
Are you doing that game?
Yep.
Can you tell us early what the matchup is, please?
I will do that for you.
Thank you very much. For those who aren't there, give us the matchups.
100%.
Carlton and Fremantle is a big part of Saturday, and the Blues' defence is right at the forefront of plenty of mind heading toward that game.
There is, and most of the focus has been on who's not there and can they stand up and how are they going to go. But when you actually look at how they've been holding up without Jacob Wiedering and over the last 3 or 4 weeks, they've actually been defending really strongly. So it's not so much, they're conceding a lot of entries. So they're actually 15th at conceding entries. But when it goes inside their defensive 50, they are holding up really well, despite the personnel, all the names that we've seen all year that they're missing. So I want to show what it looks like, because so often we talk about system over personnel and why I think Carlton can survive until Wiedering comes back. This is system. So keep an eye on Newman and Sard and how they end up becoming free behind the ball. Because what happens is Nunes up on the top of the screen as a wingman, covers Newman's man. Fisher covers the high half forward, which was Lambert. And all of a sudden, Carlton in position there. When this ball gets kicked in, they've got 2 extra defenders. So they're able to get the extra at the contest. Sard is just off the back if they need him there. And that's what system does. So you can always
flooding.
survive.
Isn't that flooding?
It's system. So
they're bringing everyone up the ground.
Here's another example. So Richmond are moving the ball. Watch Newman. First of all, his work rate to get across to get to the other side of the ground. Then this is system. Durden playing his first game, hasn't even been in the system for a month. He knows I'm going to roll across because I know that my half forward, so that's Owies, who's coming down to pick up Jack Rewalt, and it allows Durden to now be the free. So when Richmond look up, that's the wingman coming down as well. So Carlton have actually, and credit to Michael Voss and the coaching staff, despite the personnel issues, system holds up. And I think it'll hold them in good stead until they get some of the cattle to arrive. I think they'll be okay, the Blues. Not necessarily so that they'll beat Fremantle, but I think that they'll be fine and they'll play fines because system will always outweigh the personnel that they're missing.
It's interesting. Help me, because I was watching the game and I'm thinking, they're flooding back. Every time the ball went deep, there was spare Carlton players.
That's what it looked like.
But when they got down the other end, I'm thinking they haven't got enough forwards there. They were too far.
The trade-off.
They were too far back.
That's the trade-off. But that's why it's up to the midfield. The midfield need to get more ball in the front half and not have to defend the whole game and put it on their defender. So it's up to the midfield to do all the work.